Welcome back to the Dream More Stay True channel. It's your boy Moon. We back at it again. Another segment of the Mile to Marathon. It's been a minute. Last video I recorded right after this half marathon that I'm going to discuss today. The audio didn't sync up properly, so we're about a week out from the Seattle Marathon. So we're a little behind, but I thought I would, give y'all a gem on what that felt like. Kind of using it as a tester run, half marathon with a lot of hills, pretty good elevation, 700 to 800 feet of elevation. So prior to that, I'm going to run through a couple of clips. I ran with the run club that week where we tested some orange sneakers. We ran a mile trial. I placed, can't remember exactly where I placed, but I ran about a 6:13 via the Strava. But yeah, so kind of leading up to the race, the half marathon, the Malibu Moves half marathon, which was located in Malibu, California, along the beach, Zuma Beach. I was able to kind of dial in with some of the nutrition, practice a couple of things, kind of stopped eating around like 6 p.m. the day before, did a lot of low carb loading with this pasta that I have here with some microgreens and a little bit of fiber. I didn't want to overdo the fiber. Banana, had a bunch of water, had like kind of a cracker with some local hive honey. That's something new that I started to test out. Like I usually didn't eat like crackers or anything like that. Had some tea with some collagen water or collagen in my tea to kind of deal with any GI issues that may arise, and just like, adding another supplement into my body that I feel like has positive effects. That's my kit for the day. My Malibu Moves bag I picked up the day before. They didn't have big pickup day of the race unless you registered for the race the day of, and I didn't want to risk it. I was hoping to run in a different pair of shoes, but I wasn't able to get them in time. So I ran in my Nike Streak Flies, which are really meant for, I feel like, a 5K, 10K. Just kind of went out in my Nike top, my Aero Swift Nike bottoms, my Garmin 55 watch. I was taking a G1M Sports, which I'm also going to be taking throughout the week for the marathon. I had my handheld bottle. I didn't take it. The course was pretty well endowed with water stations and electrolytes and gels, though I did end up purchasing my own Muritan gels, which really helped. And the day before, I had a 320 mix. The day of, I had a 320 mix, and I drank that leading up pretty much until the race and warm up. I didn't take it out on the course with me, but I was pretty well carbed up.
Hey, what's up? It's me. It's race day. Super early in the morning. About to go get it. Got a 55-minute drive, warm up. Hour and a half from that point, we'll be at the starting line. So we'll post a recap after this. It's early, I'm tired. Let's go. Woo!
This is the drive to the race. It was a pretty dark and quiet drive. My nerves were a little heavy just because it was my first time running 13 plus miles competitively versus long runs and chiller paces, and not really knowing what the hills would feel like. So overall, for the Malibu Moves half marathon, I ran a 1:47:37. That's about an 8:13 pace per mile. Took 95th, 67th male, 9 out of 18 in my age group. And I think these numbers might have got a little bit bigger, so it might have, towards the end, there were definitely more people that ran the race towards the end. This is the first screenshot that I took in the beginning. So I think it was about 800 runners in total. So T-time. So I thought they had a really cool medal. Malibu Moves, more than just the runner, was on the back, Zuma Beach, and it has the zip code of the city where we're in, or the beach. And yeah, I just kind of cruised back home and got my day started. And as you can see, going through the splits of the race, first mile I came out at a 7:30. My heart rate was pretty high. Of course, I was nervous, had my caffeinated gels. I had about 5 gels in total. I took one before the race, And then I had 4 more Muriton gels. So my first gel was caffeinated. The other 4 were just regular gels that I took basically probably around like every 30 minutes afterwards. So I had probably one at about 3 miles. I had another one at about 6 miles, another one about 9 miles. Then I held on to the last one probably to around mile 11 or 12 to see if I actually needed it. I pretty much took them all. Then I realized that I was consuming a little bit more water. So I started to drink the electrolytes at the stations. And once I got the electrolytes, because I felt like my glucose was starting to drop, I started to kind of like perk up a little bit. And the sun was coming out. Early in the race, the temperature was pretty good. It was in the 50s. And then towards the end of the race, it was around the 60s. But first mile was 7:30. Second mile was 7:27. Third mile is where the hills started to kick in, about 7:56. Fourth mile, 8:08. Fifth mile, 8:18. Sixth mile, I kind of felt really good. Went back down to a 7:48. Thought I was going to continue the negative split, but the hills were definitely rolling. Seventh mile, 8:20. Eighth mile, 8:24. Ninth mile, 8:36. And probably right around there is when I started to think about, like, could I, like, really make a push and kick back into gear and started to drop back down to those 7s. And, from that 9th at 8:36 to that 10th at 9:09, which is where the hills really started to get after me. I thought I was fading, but then I was able to come back at mile 11 with an 8 flat per mile pace. And 12th mile, I was at 8:23. And 13th mile, 8:44. And that last 0.1, I came in at 6:53 pace. So I definitely had a kick left inside of me. And like I said, it was a learning experience trying to wrap my head around the hills and figure out how I wanted to strategize, regrouping and going up and down hills, as well as how my body was reacting to the gels and, just kind of being under a certain type of duress that was consistent and not so much like running a couple miles and then going uphill. This was more just like hill after hill after hill. So you really had to kind of like dig deep and start to, put yourself on that, into that mental space where it's going to be a little harder than maybe, some of the training I did where the hills came and went. These hills were there with you the entire time. So it was really good to experience that because I feel like it was half of what the Seattle Marathon will be. I'm going to drop another video probably before I drop the last video of the post-race. I'm going to drop another video after I drop the video post-race of the Seattle Marathon. And that'll just be a video going over the 2 last long runs leading up before I tapered off and kind of what that felt like. I got up to about 20 to 24 miles in those long runs, and I felt like they'll probably play a really pivotal point in the race. So we're about 6 days out. All right, dream more, stay true. Peace.